Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Sorry we're ever so slightly late. My name's Sam. I'm the marketing manager at Open Reality, and I'll be hosting the session today. Before I introduce our speakers, I'd just like to remind you that you are in listen-only mode. So if you've got a question at any point, please use the Q&A box over on the left-hand side of your screen, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. We're recording the session today, and you'll get a link to that recording following the session. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on to the introductions. So our presenters today are Dean and Walter from Weblib. We're really excited to have signed an agreement with them recently, as you've probably seen, to be their distributor in the UK and Ireland. We think their products are really, really good, and they're going to be making a big difference to the way that our partners and end users deploy the Wi-Fi across the country, specifically in the retail and hospitality sections. We think they've got some really compelling use cases which they're going to be running through. So the purpose of the session today is just to give you an overview of what Weblib do and their product line. We've got 4 follow-up sessions over the next fortnight. So what we're going to be doing in each of those sessions is looking at one of their products in turn and doing a bit of a deeper dive into those. So following the session today, if there's anything that really piques your interest, I recommend you head over to our website, go into the webinars page, and there's links there to sign up for those sessions. Okay, Dean, Walter, over to you.
Sam, thank you ever so much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name's Dean Jones. I have responsibility for Weblib in the UK and Ireland. And I'd just like to echo Sam's comments. We are extremely pleased to have Open Reality as our distributor for the UK and Ireland. We see this relationship as being absolutely strategic to what we do in this particular region. I'm joined today by Walter Berg, who is our pre-sales consultant for the Central European area. And I'll introduce Walter to you a little later in our presentation. We expect the presentation to last no more than an hour. So thank you ever so much once again for joining. I shall just run through the slides now. So who are Weblib? We are an organization really creating digital solutions, as this particular slide shows, to help organizations, companies, global companies, grow their revenue and ensure that they are able to connect, engage with their customers, their guests, their fans, their students, their visitors, whomever this group of customers happen to be, and also their employees. Some of the corporately owned devices, we offer a very slick way of ensuring connection and engagement with employees as well as with customers. And we do this for a vast number of organizations around the world. A couple of those brands are mentioned on this particular slide. We will talk a little more about some of the brands we work with in a little more detail later on in the presentation. The organization is headquartered in France, in Paris, and we have in excess of 7 million users using our service across around 80 countries each month. You may know of a company called UNIQLO. Weblib acquired UNIQLO at the very beginning of 2020, and it now means that Weblib as an organization has an extensive portfolio of both cloud-based and on-premise solutions for wireless LAN for wireless LAN applications. Very powerful portfolio. We're going to talk about that in a little more detail. But I really do think that one of the key differentiators for our organization now is the fact that we do offer this cloud, on-premise and hybrid solution. So really can cater for pretty much any situation any of your customers happen to face. And I shall just go back. So what do our solutions do? Well, in essence, we ensure through our captive portal and our analytics engine, we allow an organization to understand their visitors, their behavior and their preferences in a wholly GDPR compliant manner. And within that, in the course of making unknown visitors known to the organization, to the client, we offer the client the opportunity to individually market, personally market to each of those visitors. And that in turn forms a major part of an opportunity, not only for the client, but also for any of the client's business partners. It offers them a big monetization opportunity. So in this slide, we kind of encapsulate what we are able to provide overall, but I'd just like to move on to the slide I just showed a moment ago, which in a very short video brings to life what we are able to do through our solution. So hopefully you all saw that. Many of you may not have been able to hear the music. We were having a little trouble with the music just before the webinar started. But really what we're looking to do with that particular video, and there are many others of these that we will make available and are indeed available on YouTube and other platforms, it provides us with the opportunity to talk about how we work in particular vertical markets. Retail being that particular vertical market. But as this presentation, as this slide shows, we within WebLib across our portfolio work in a wide range of sectors. And as you can see here, from large public venues, events, stadia, as well as retail, smart cities, transport, various transport nodes, and indeed the enterprise. We have a vast number of customers. And the reason I show this slide is to emphasize the fact that we do have a great solution for a broad range of sectors, but also we have considerable experience in each of those sectors. So I would like to think if we were to work with you on particular opportunities, we would be able to bring some of our knowledge and expertise to that conversation. So just want to move on a little more now, and I think this particular slide is kind of pertinent, really. As we emerge from lockdown at the moment, I think it is fair to say that the impact of COVID-19 will continue on businesses, and more organisations are finding that people want to be able to access their services and go about their daily business in a more contactless fashion. And I think with some of the solutions that WebLib have within its portfolio, we are able to absolutely support that. So I think even though we are living through extremely torrid and very difficult times, we have a solution that is very appropriate for a whole host of different clients as we emerge from the lockdown and beyond. So with that in mind, I just want to talk a little in the next part of our presentation about digital marketing. We definitely believe that if you are digitalizing your company, you really do position or strengthen your position as a result of doing this. It may well be that you have an internet presence, an online presence, but to be able to utilize a solution within your venue is really a worthwhile and a revenue generating opportunity. We believe that you are able to really expand your digital offer by using solutions from WebLib. And as I've said already, you have the opportunity to monetize that not only as a client, as an organization, but also with your business partners. Now, at the same time, these solutions can also increase your own organization's productivity and efficiency, whether that is through automating your ordering process, and we'll move on to that with Order It, which is part of our portfolio, or whether it's ensuring that customers are able to access information before they necessarily liaise or work with or talk to one of your staff. There are some really good efficiencies that can be gained by deploying this particular solution. Over and above that, you have the opportunity to really increase your customer loyalty and your satisfaction by recognizing the customer, engaging with that customer in a far more personalized way, and being able to use as much of that information to continue that conversation when they have left your premises, your venue, whatever it may be. All very important and all very much support the business as we develop and engage with more customers. So I just wanted to spend just one or two slides on digital marketing and how that has evolved. Yes, there has always been, for some considerable time, online marketing. There has been mobile marketing, but the opportunity with Wi-Fi marketing is considerable, simply because you're no longer targeting and advertising. You are getting to the point where you are effectively a publisher. Your conversion rate with your audience is 100%. And there are many marketing organizations within your clients who would absolutely want to have this sort of conversion rate. And what comes with that is the ability to engage with the customer in a far more personalized way, as I say, to ensure that you get far greater returns than you could necessarily as an advertiser using online marketing. And really, people absolutely want to have Wi-Fi access everywhere on as many devices as they want, and they want that to be free. But the opportunity solutions such as WebLib afford a client is it's a business opportunity. There is a platform upon which monetization and marketing opportunities can be developed. Very, very important. And there are a whole host of organizations who have additional budgets for such things. There is an opportunity here, I believe, for you as partners to be able to shape additional budgets that can be used not only for the provision of this sort of solution, but for a wider Wi-Fi solution as well. So there is a considerable opportunity, I believe, here, both for the client and indeed for you as partners of those clients. Within that, we are getting to the point through being able to personalize our engagement with individuals through use of WebLib solutions. We're getting to the point really where you can have a human-to-human conversation rather than a business-to-business or business-to-consumer conversation. And again, that's very, very important because engagement, involvement with customers is absolute gold dust at the moment, appreciating where we are as a society. So what are the rules within digital marketing? Just important really to run through these. If you are going to provide, if your client is going to provide this sort of solution, there are a number of rules that should be considered. all of which gets to the point where you really are able to engage with an individual, with a customer, with a visitor. If this sort of solution is being deployed, you need first of all to incent your users to connect. So the idea of having your Wi-Fi your Wi-Fi available, it really has to be visible. You have to make that very visible to all of your customers through whatever means, really. But once they have joined the Wi-Fi, ensuring that they have services that are appropriate for their needs, again, is paramount. So the user experience, the provision of specific services for where they are and what they're expecting to be able to do is a very important point. And we are able to offer such services through some of our portfolio, but we also offer a fantastic platform for additional services. Rule number 3, the idea of having, acquiring new users and new opt-ins for ongoing involvement and engagement with customers is absolutely key, and it is a key marker for how successful most marketeers' campaigns and deployment of solutions by the marketing teams are viewed. So the idea of being able to offer acquisition metrics and to be able to understand how many customers are opting in, signing up for ongoing involvement through newsletters is important, as well as having some form of push notification engine whilst they are within your premises, within your venue, within your Wi-Fi. Finally, through all of these points, you really have the opportunity to create your own experience, not only as a client for your users, for your visitors, for your guests, but also because as a guest, you have the opportunity to personalize the information you're receiving. You have the opportunity to create your own experience as a guest, as a visitor. Again, it's a two-way street, that part of what we're able to provide, and it's a very important part if you are looking to ensure that you grow customer loyalty and your customers become brand ambassadors, essentially for your organization. So I just wanted to spend a little time talking about how we believe digital marketing becomes a very important part of an organization's approach to customer engagement. At this point, what I'd like to do is hand over, if I may, to Walter, who will now just talk us through the applications and solutions we have within the WebLib portfolio. May I hand over to you at this point? Is that okay, Walter?
Yes, thank you so much, Tim. Please go on. Thank you so much. So this is an overview about the portfolio of WebLib. And with all the applications that we offer are covered by one main tool. It's called Control Tower. So most of the portfolio is cloud-based. Here in the Control Tower, we will find some analytics and portal editor kind of services and the integration of different kind of hardware. So what is stored here? We have products like Smart Wi-Fi, which is a quite powerful cloud solution for offering a captive portal to customers. We have a tablet storage solution, which is very well used, and for example, in McDonald's and other retail markets. And we have Order.it. It's a tool to do some orders without any kind of application. And at least we have the solution of UNIQLO, which is our on-premise solution, a really powerful solution, flexible solution, and we will go through that product right now. Please continue. Thank you. So this is how it looks like. We have Smart Wi-Fi. It's a simple portal editor, very well used for kind of just creating with a few clicks a portal. Then we have compatibility to different type of vendors like Rackers, Cambium, Cyrus, Cisco, Meraki, Aruba. We have different type of connectors here like social media connector and one-click connector. So it's called Click and Connect. Then we have Order.it, cloud-based as Smart Wi-Fi. with different type of access method like a QR code or a URL, and it's already implemented. It has implemented a different type of cache register, which is also delivered by us. We are also compatible to different type of already existing cache registers, and we have a tool called Tab Store, which is also cloud-based and can show different type of content on the tablets. So from the Copia world, we have different type of architectures. One is called Inline, the other one is called Out of Band. I will tell you a little bit more about it later. Another tool that is going hand in hand with the Copia, the connectivity for Copia, is UWS Proximity, which could be used as a cloud or an on-premise device, where it's also analytics done, and all the data that is gathered, personal data, could be visualized here. Please continue. Thank you. So this is how the dashboard looks like. I will show you a demo later if the tool if it has the right rules, and that I can show my screen later. So what do we see here is the dashboard, where you can check, for example, the control of the status of your hardware, means tablets, access points, all things like this. We have a kind of statistics over here where all the data is gathered by the users, and we can see, for example, the how many times the user has visited our shop, or how long did he stay. All things like this are collected here. We have a detailed view of the collected data, and we also have the possibility to export the data to a CRM or business intelligence system. Also, there is called a tool called Smart Wi-Fi, and there is another one. It's called Smart Wi-Fi Portal Editor, where you can create and manage your portals quite easy. It's flexible and very, very quick to deploy. Thank you. Yeah, this is how the slides are looking like. So we have a login. This is how the whole portal looks like. Okay, so you have the possibility to create different type of slides over here. In the first slide, you see the login methods like authentication and login methods like Facebook or Instagram. Then we have a slide which could be used as the welcome back page. We have an advertiser page. We have a service portal page, and we have a redirected page. So all of these different, each slide is part of the whole captive portal. You can reduce them or you can external them. Okay. So what do we offer here? We have the social login. We provide an opt-in, and we do also provide an advertiser, which could be used, for example, like in voucher, things like this. For the integrator, we have a few advantages over here. So one of them is for sure, it's a simple administration. So everything's done by cloud and could be entered through any browser. We have new services for end customers are possible here that we can integrate. We have a possibility to create different type of portals, and we could also manage our campaigns or publish informations on the advertiser slide, for example. For the customer, we have also a few advantages over here. So low operating costs mean we do count or we charge by access points. So these are how the licenses are charged. We have a simple operation here, and for the marketing team, it's quite easy to create their own campaigns, and they could create them without any help of agencies. We have the variable analysis, which means we have the access to the customer has access to the dashboard for sure, and to check how the behavior of his customer is. And he has for sure the extension of the circle of influence. Thank you. So for now, we have online retailers which do know the customer in detail thanks to cookies and logins. But how does it look like with physical stores? So for physical stores, until now, they don't have that much possibilities to have the same advantages like online retailers have. So they know a little about who the visitors are and how many times they visit your store, for example. Yeah, so know a little about who visited their stores and offer customers to few incentives. So what we can do here, we can customize the portal of itself. So we can make it in a corporate identity design, for example, and we can also send targeted coupons to customers and visitors. How does it work? So first of all, we see an SSID where the customer connects to. Then the second step is the captive portal will pop up. So it's a free Wi-Fi. It's quite easy to log in. As you see on the first picture, it's just a click on connect. Means the customer just accept the terms of usage and click on connect in this case. And on the right-hand side, we have the picture of Instagram and Facebook where they can use this kind of authentication method. Then we can continue to step 3. So in our portal builder, we have also the possibility to set up a newsletter subscription, which means it's directly implemented in the portal, so the customer can decide if he would like to accept to make a registration for the newsletter, or he can also reject it. This is the advertiser slide, so it's step 4, where we can place different type of content. For example, in this case, it's a voucher for Burger King, but we also have a different type of possibility to connect or interact in this slide with different kind of tools, for example, with Adobe Campaign or Wiz Event, so where we can directly transfer campaigns that are built in Adobe Campaign, for example, we can interact then with this slide. Yeah, and step 5, we have the possibility to forward our customer depending on which preferences has been set. Means the customer could reach the page that he had tried to reach before the captive portal popped up, or we can send him directly to, or we can redirect him directly to a specific page. So we have the possibility to post conversion here. We have the customer recognition, and we can check the loyalty. Again and again, we have, as you see, it's a completely user experience what we provide here. We have the social login, we have the opt-in, and we have the advertiser in order to publish information. Thank you, Dean. So this is the next application or tool that we offer here. It's called Order It. Well, could you please continue? So what does Order It mean? So in this time, especially for this time, yeah, we have waiting time and long lines remain a problem here, especially if we check about the healthy right now, so we have to keep the distance and all things like this. This will produce a lot of queues and the big queues. So kiosk systems are also expensive, and apps are time consuming and annoying, because even if you need an app for everything, it's really annoying. So what we provided here is an application which you can use through Wi-Fi. Through Wi-Fi, and all without app or complex responsive web. So there is nothing you need than just to connect to your Wi-Fi or scan a QR code. Please continue. Thank you. So how does Order It works in this case? So same procedure as we have seen before. We connect to the SSID. On the second step, a menu appears where we can choose between different type of food, meals, and drinks. Then we can check what we need, and we have the payment. So it means there are different type of payment methods included, like MangoPay, LiftPay, PayLib. They are all included in this solution for now. They will follow up much more, but for now, these are the ones we have. It's easy and secure. We can send or read the order. After you make your order, the order will be forwarded to the kitchen. And then someone will bring you a meal, but you also have the possibility to take away, so you can choose in this tool if you would like to be served, or if you would like to take away. So this is the whole process that we have over here from the customer side. So how does it look like for the owner of the store or the owner of the order itself? So this is a screenshot from the dashboard or from the menu where you can prepare a menu. We also deliver a called cash register if you don't even have your own one, because our solution is compatible with Zelti and Tiller. So if you have already one kind of this cash registers, we can also communicate with them. So no additional app is necessary here. But in this case, if you don't have something like this, we can provide you an application called Cash Register where you can create your own meals, and you see you have the possibility to create one. You can add different type of products here, and you have different type of options which you can choose for this specific meal menu. Thank you. Then we have on the tablet, there will appear the whole status information from the order that has been taken by the customer. As you see, we have a name, we have a table number, we have a price, and we have the time when the order has been sent. What we can do here, we have the possibility to send the whole order to the kitchen. That's when we click on it, and then the whole order will be forwarded to the kitchen itself. When the customer, so when this slide appears, means the customer will get a message from us that they are able to collect their order. So as I mentioned before, different type of payment options are included: Mango Pay, Live Pay, and Paylip, and much more will follow up in future. Yeah, this is how it looks like when the order has been sent. So this is the tablet screen. We also have the possibility in a further version or a future version to print on a different type of printer. It's not included right now, but will follow, but that we can directly print recipes into the kitchen. And this is the whole flow, how it looks like for the customer mobile phone in the restaurant. So first of all, from the left, we start from the left-hand side. We have a client which will connect to Wi-Fi and URL or QR code. Then the menu will be shown. He can choose between the menu, set up the payment, and send his order. Then on the provider's tablet, the overview appears of all the orders that have been sent by the customers. And then you can decide what you would like to do. You can print a ticket, so this will be available in future version, or type order into the POS. So, and then the kitchen gets the information that, yeah, there should be something should be prepared. So what are the advantages of Order It? For sure, customers spend 50% more when they use their smartphone. So even if they stay in a queue or not, they will use, if they use their smartphone, they will stay much more longer. You can offer your customers a much better service when ordering easy and fast. For sure, they don't waste time for waiting. And yeah, in the end, the last point is reduce waiting time means more customers. Thank you, Dean. So this was Order It. We will go, or we'll continue with our tablet store, where we'll just give you a slightly overview what is possible with tablet store and what is this tool used for. Please continue. So this is just a screenshot or more photo from an entire McDonald's, where you see that those tablets are not stored at the beginning or the entrance of McDonald's, because we know it's for digital signage displays, for example. Our solution is that we have one tablet on each seat, and we have different type of references here. As you see, Disney, UNIQLO, UNIQLO, KFC, McDonald's, all of them are using this kind of solution already. So what are the advantages here? We could improve the customer satisfaction, we can increase in sales, and we could provide our customers an entertainment system. For self-services, we can use this tablet for different type of reasons. For example, for self-service here, we can reduce queues, and also we can reduce the waiting time. For sure, if you have one tablet on your seat, you have directly a seat, you can take a seat and directly do the order. You're not under stress because there is no queue behind you. We can also use this tab as for digital signage. Means we can advertise content for the company, or for example for different type of products, or for special offers, for example. We can also run different type of loyalty programs where we can directly check the satisfaction satisfaction from our customers, and for sure we can also have the possibility where we can gather data from our visitors, which will be also visualized in the control tower. And yeah, for our customers, we also provide, or we can use the possibility to provide them some entertainment systems, because on this tablet is running Android for sure, and we can check they have access to unlimited amount of entertainment, like to games, social media, and much more. So in the end, we have a few other possibilities or advantages here. We can capture in real time the data. We can check the number of users, the popular apps, the popular websites. So the integration with Control Tower and the CRM system. So as I mentioned before, Control Tower is it's covering all of those tools, and it means the whole management is done from Control Tower, and also the whole data that is gathered is in the Control Tower and visible or accessible in the dashboard. So in the end, we have management and content, means we can provide or we can push content directly to our top tablets from the Control Tower menu. We have a remote control, remote monitoring, and the completely remote administration of these tablets. So means the completely management is remote. Yeah, this is how it looks like from the view of the Control Tower, where we can check for where we can choose the different type of tablets, where we can choose the applications we would like to install, or for example, for applications we would like to disinstall or uninstall. Please continue. So this is now where we're going to. This is UNIQLO. So this is our last solution that we would like to show you today, to give you an overview. So UNIQLO is an on-premise solution, means it's not based in the cloud, it's only on-premise. So how does it work? How is the biggest advantage? So it's a quite simple configuration. It's the whole configuration is done through the graphical user interface. Yeah, we have a high availability, so each project or each installation could be done with a HA cluster. It's very customer oriented. It's a flexible, very flexible solution, and a powerful solution for different type of complex projects, for example. And we have it secure, because we offer different type of authentication and registration methods. This solution is completely Wi-Fi vendor independent, and the most important thing is that we work GDPR compliant. Thank you, Dean. So this license model is different than compared to smart Wi-Fi. In smart Wi-Fi, we have been talked about access points. In this license model, we are talking about concurrent sessions. So one session is 1 megabytes. We provide different type of licenses, for example, Express, Advanced, then Advanced plus multi-site add-on. So the main licenses are Express and Advanced, and as you see, Advanced is the only difference is that you can handle much more users over here. It means if you are above 250 users, you have to change to the Advanced. Up to 200,000 concurrent sessions are possible here. And different type of features are included in Advanced. Just to give you a slight overview, if you need high availability, it's all included in Advanced. If you need, for example, a radius proxy functionality, it's also included in the Advanced. And there are different type of features that only the Advanced license is containing. We do provide different type of servers, like, for example, hardware servers, and also virtual machines. So how does the UNIQLO works? In this slide, you see an overview of the functionality of the UNIQLO. Means we have a user, and the user is connecting to one SSID. If he's connected to the SSID, then a captive portal will pop up. In this captive portal, the user has the possibility to authenticate or to register himself. And based on this registration mode, this user will be pushed into a specific profile. Okay. So on this profile, there are different type of options are linked to. For example, there's a zone, there's a data volume, a quote, and device limitation, and validity, and also kind of services that are port-based. So what happens now is the user will connect to that ID, then he will authenticate with the username, for example, and the password. Then we can set this profile as an employee, for example, because it's based on the authentication method. In this case, it's 801.x, for example. The customer will connect, will be pushed into profile employees. Then this customer or this employee will be shown a specific portal and a specific portal configuration, as you see here. This is why does this happen? It happens because the Utopia doesn't know SSIDs, so we won't work with SSIDs here. We work with incoming networks, for example, for layer 2 networks, and we'll be with VLANs, or we work with layer 3 networks, so we can combine them. So it's not, you don't have to decide between layer 2 and layer 3. You can use them both at the same time. So layer 2, layer 3 networks could be set into the Utopia, and for each network or for each zone, you have different type of networks. So one zone could contain much more than 50 zones or 50 incoming networks, for example. Okay, so it means for the whole, just to show you a whole example, customer connects with username and password. He will be pushed into the profile user employee. Employee will say, okay, employee has access to zone, for example, employee. And then for this zone, I will show you an incoming network, a specific portal, and a portal configuration. And this is how the Utopia solution works behind. Please continue. Thank you. Yeah, please continue. Yeah, thank you. So in this example, you see what I've mentioned before. You have a guest. For example, this is a guest profile. You have an employee profile, and you have a VIP profile. All of them have used different type, or all of them are using different type of registration or authentication method. Let's check for the guest. The guest will be redirected to the captive portal. Then there's one click. You click on one click, and you will be connected. Okay. So what happens? We have an incoming network, a layer 2 or layer 3 network. We have different type of services already included in Utopia. For example, VLAN, DHCP server, DNS server, captive portal, a radius, and so on. We have different type of hotspot services. For example, the bandwidth limitation. We have a service filter. We have URL filters over there. We can check access rights. Also, all full services that are provided by hotspot are already included in the Utopia. We also have a legal logging, for example, which we can activate or enable or disable here, and we have the possibility to interact with different type of existing systems. Like we can check with different type of directories, external directories, like Active Directory, for example. We have a hotel booking. We can interact with hotel booking systems. PMS is called property management systems. Means if you have a customer, or if you have a hotel where you can create a new customer or a new guest, then you can just do this by once. If you type in name, username, room number, for things like this, you can configure on the Utopia that a whole user will be immediately created as long as it's been created on the property management system. So you just have to do it. You have to add the user only once and not twice. Thank you, Dean. Please continue. This is an overview about registration and authentication methods we have. For example, we have one-click, we have social Wi-Fi, where all the common social Wi-Fi connectors are included. Especially, we have also OpenID, which could interact with different type of applications. We have, for example, eduroam, XML. So XML is a single sign-on authentication method. We have a responsive captive portal. We have a different type of MAC address authentication methods. Means customer could be authenticated by its MAC address, and different type of payment systems are included here. For example, it's PayPal and UNIQLO. And at least we have a registration mode where a user can register himself, for example, by SMS or by email. by a form where we just have to type in different type of information, click on register, that's it. Or the most important thing, we also provide sponsoring. Sponsoring is something where a link, if you try to connect to the captive portal, you can type in an email address where a link will be sent to, and this could be the sponsor or should be the sponsor, and the sponsor could accept the link or reject the link. And even if you accept the link, your account will be activated and you have access. So this should be granted by a real person. Please continue, Dean. Thank you. So this is how the portal looks like on the Copia. We have a layout in corporate identity. Means this is the default captive portal which is provided by the Copia. Okay, so it's delivered by a Copia and the whole solution. We have 16 languages. We have a responsive web design. We have a privacy terms of use, and we have various access options. Please continue. Yeah, this is another example of a football stadium. For example, we just choose for now. You see, we have zone visitor and we have the zone employee. So in the upper left corner is visitors, and in the below right corner we have employees. So for example, if a visitor will connect with one click, he will be pushed into the profile visitor. Means he has access for 24 hours, 10 megabit, and the URL filter. And if an employee will log in with 802.1x, he will have internet access and access to local resources. So this is just to give you a clearer overview about the slide we have seen before. Please continue, please. So we also provide not only one architecture, we could provide two architectures here. For example, one is called Inline Architecture, means the whole traffic flows from the access point, or wired or non-wired, will flow through the Copia solution. So in this example, we have an installed, there is a license called Express or Advanced installed on it, doesn't matter here. And on the other side, we have the out-of-band architecture, means we have the advanced license installed and the multi-site add-on installed on it. So means we have different type of locations. And for example, you see a Copia Edge. This is a piece of hardware, could be also a VM. And all of these locations will share one big license. So the big license is running on the Copia Central, and all locations are able to share this license, to check licenses depending on their demand. We also have the possibility to check with vendors. So a few vendors are compatible to our solution. If they have a few limitations like logging and bandwidth controls, not all of them, but several of them. But if you choose the Copia Edge, you will have full features like the same you have with a full completely Copia. The main difference between the inline architecture and the out-of-band architecture is here that no traffic will be tunneled back to the central Copia. So the traffic stays always locally. Okay, so there's no tunneling necessary to tunnel back the traffic. So only what is communicated through a Copia Edge and the Copia and the headquarter, for example, is the management traffic. Please continue, Dean. So one specific tool that we also provide in our solution is the Delegation Tool. So we have two types of tools in our Copia. One is called the admin tool, where you do the main settings. For example, the settings for the captive portal and the settings for user profiles, settings for users itself, incoming networks, all things like this. So, but imagine if you have someone who is not that technically skilled, and you won't offer him this kind of access. Okay, I will do an example. You have a reception, someone at the reception, and he should be able to create users, but you won't offer him the full access to the Copia. So in this case, we have developed a completely new area. It is called Delegation Tool, where a user can log in. Delegation administrator called, he can log in, and then he has the possibility to create user access there, only user access. He can create mass generation of logins. He has the possibility to send those logins by email, by SMS, or print those kind of logins. He has, after creating these logins and a user has been logged in with them, He has the possibility to reset passwords, he can modify the access profile, and he can also lock users, okay? Nevertheless, we also have a delegation API. So this delegation API is mainly used for interactive applications that are running on smartphones. Thank you. So our solution will also support multi-tenancy, means you have monocopia, which can split in different copias, means you have different type of portals, different type of administrator, different users, different vouchers, different data, and all of them are completely separated from each other. So it means you can have one copia with different type of tenants that are running on it. Thank you. So,
Walter, thank you very much for that. It's Dean here. I'm just very conscious of the time. Thank you for that. That was a very quick run through, but we're keeping to the time. I'd just like to emphasize, as Sam said at the very beginning of the webinar, we have the opportunity to run through each of the 4 elements of our portfolio in more detail through the next, the webinars over the next fortnight. So please, I would encourage you, if you have any questions, get in touch with your usual contact at Open Reality, and we can ensure that we run through that in more detail, either individually or as part of the specific breakout webinars. I just wanted to really emphasize at this point, as I said at the beginning, the opportunity to strengthen your position as a modern company through deployment of some of these solutions hopefully has become apparent. We are able to really expand any client's digital offer by deploying any of the solutions we have, and the monetization opportunities that are available through these platforms, I think, is considerable. I just wanted to really point out that, you know, with Smart Wi-Fi and with UNIQLO, we probably have the most extensive portfolio on the market. So we are not simply a web-based provider of services, we are web-based and on-premise. We have a number of competitors who would be predominantly web-based, some who are predominantly on-premise. But the nice thing here is that within one portfolio, you have the opportunity to address pretty much any of your customers' requirements. At that point, I would like to hand over to Sam, if it's okay, because we are coming up to the top of the hour. Sam, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Dean. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left for some really quick questions. Thank you, Walter, for that whistle-stop tour. Dean's already done my job of mentioning the webinars, so it gives us more time for some questions. So the first question was related to UNIQLO and its compatibility with access points, specifically Ubiquiti and Lancome. Do you have what's it compatible with?
UNIQLO is vendor independent. So we are compatible with any access point. So it's wholly vendor independent.
Okay, fantastic. We had another question about sort of who are the which verticals do you work in? But I think hopefully the presentation's given people a good idea that you can work across pretty much every vertical there is. A lot of your solutions can be flexed to their specific use case.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Sam. I suppose if you look, and as Walter said, we have 2 sort of licensing models, one that's per AP, one that's by concurrent user, and where you have a more dense environment, where you have a vast number of visitors, users of the system, then UNIQLO lends itself quite nicely to that. So large public venues, smart cities, stadia, exhibition centres, that sort of thing, airports, ports, would ordinarily be UNIQLO solutions, because there is a requirement to offer different profiles, different services dependent on where a user is across your premises, across your estate. I would say for retail and for small professional service offices and such like, then the per AP solution through through smart Wi-Fi is more appropriate. So, you know, if you're looking at hospitality and retail, ordinarily the smart Wi-Fi solution would be more appropriate, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. As Dean mentioned, we're going to go through each of those products in more detail in the following sessions, and we can go through a couple of different use cases. If you can't wait till next week, then obviously please contact one of your account managers at Open Reality or a member of our wireless distribution team. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much for registering today, and we hope to see you at one of our sessions in the near future. Thanks again, Dean. Thanks again, Walter.
Thank you, Sam. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sam. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.